If you think kickboxing is hard, try doing it with just one arm. This is the story of Shivashankara Subarayappa, who recently made heads turn with his wins in the Warriors Dream Series when he doubled his opponent over and then knocked him out with a vicious crossbody kick. The 25-year-old's win was his second by knockout in as many bouts. Perhaps his most uncomfortable moment in the ring came after his win, for when the winner of the contest had to be declared, the referee standing to Shiva's right couldn't grab the wrist closest to him since there was none. Instead, he had to reach across to his left and lift his left wrist aloft. As awkward as that moment was, Shiva had the biggest grin on his face. When he was 6 years old, Shiva lost his right arm above the elbow after being hit by a truck in his village of Bagepalli, about 100 kilometers from Bengaluru. Despite his injury, he remembers his parents never let him feel as if he was anything different. Shiva's first tryst with sports was with cricket. He took up the game seriously once he shifted to college in Bangalore. A Google search brought him to Irfan Seth, a coach with the Karnataka Cricket Association. Competition for differently abled athletes exists, and Shiva both made it to the Indian team and competed internationally. However, he was always pushing himself to compete against regular cricketers. By the end of his years in college, Shiva would become captain of his college team and even played club cricket for Herons Cricket Club in Bangalore's second division. A batting all-rounder, Shiva says he became known for his aggression. Spin, with its need for wristy play, proved a problem though. It was to improve his hand speed that Shiva first entered the world of kickboxing. It was perhaps luck that the first academy he visited, Koi Kickboxing Academy, was run by Vishal Sehgal. A well-known coach in the Indian MMA scene, Sehgal wasn't taken aback by the one-armed man who wanted to learn how to box. Due to his disability, there is a disadvantage facing Shiva in the boxing ring. He is entirely open on his right-hand side. He of course can't throw a punch from his right, but he can't block anything coming from that direction either. He can't stay in the pocket and exchange punches because he will certainly take a punch. So he has to punch and move and step out. He also can't set up any punches or combinations because one's jab and power hand is the same. So Shiva and his coach had to figure out how to use a lot of footwork to compensate. But not all is hard. Because he has lived most of his life with just one arm, it is really strong. It's like a piston. Additionally, since he's missing an arm, he can actually fight in a lower weight category than he would otherwise be able to. During his coaching sessions, Shiva was given the example of Nick Newell, who also had just one functioning arm but eventually rose to fight in Bellator, a top MMA promotion in the USA, and even fought UFC lightweight title contender Justin Gaethje. With just 2 months of training, Shiva went into his first amateur fight at the Warriors Dream Series. He won that fight by knockout in the first round. While he isn't in the ring, he works in a corporate office in Bengaluru. The big fight now seems to be one of mentality, something his coach explains as this. There's a feeling that it's a no-win situation to fight Shiva. If you lose, you become the guy who lost to someone with one arm. And if you win, you only beat a guy with one arm. There have been a few times where people have pulled out of a fight because of that. Some said opponents were going easy on him and that there was no point in fighting someone like him. But we have always made it clear that we don't expect anyone to give us a quarter and we don't give that to any opponent either.